Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Shantz. To my right, I'll do it this way. We got Brady King. Brady, what's going on from Columbus?
Yeah, not much. Well, actually, I'd be lying if I said not much because, there's a huge game this week. Do you guys know how big this game is?
Taking the words out of Matt's mouth, huh?
No, these are my own words. Like, I've never heard Matt say that. Matt's underhyping this game. Like, this is a huge game. Like, we can't lose this game. This is the biggest game of the college football season to this point. So there's so much going on. I can't wait. Saturday can't come fast enough. Just a huge game.
This is my favorite show of the week.
That's
I actually thought I was going to get to say it this time. Damn.
Nope, I said it this time. I don't care. Matt, what's going on?
This is my favorite show of the week. Don't believe Brady. I'm not underhyping it. I'm way overhyping it. I mean,
you're overhyping it?
Folks at home watching, do you know how big this is? I don't understand. I just don't know if a lot of people don't get it. I mean, this is as big as it gets. Buckeyes can't lose this game. With all the tiebreaker scenario bullshit with the Big Ten East, we don't even want to think about it. We can't lose this game. It's I'm so fired up. I'm ready to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And obviously, before we get into some things, we're also going to have our good friend, family of the show, Chris Drew, come on at about 8:10. Before we get into this, like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube. Matt's going to watch what he says tonight. He's not going to call anybody a P word or anything like that. So that'll be, cool. But, everything else is fair game.
You did say that to people in the comments before.
He has. He's done some really embarrassing things in the comments.
I did not agree to that.
Well, you are now.
Not say I'm doing that.
I feel like he's more likely to do it now.
He probably is. I think I just woke up a different.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
As long as I agree with it, I'm okay. You just can't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll probably have a talk after that. But yeah, we're gonna do some segments real quick just to get some shit out of the way, house clean and everything. Matt says it's the worst segment in the world. I say I don't think it's the worst, but it's not. It's more bounce to the ounce. So I gotta say, I don't put much effort into this episode, in this segment, and everything like that. But really, this week. I did a lot this week, and I've done a lot the last month, and a lot of stuff not on this show. So I'm just going to play a 3-minute demo. And Matt, so I called the Cincinnati Iowa State game this past weekend, and Matt's been making fun of me about this touchdown call that I had, in the Bearcats game. And honestly, Matt, I'm going to say it. Go fuck yourself for that. All right. Go fuck yourself. But nonetheless, I'll play this video here real quick. It's like a 3-minute video, and then we'll go right into BK Brawling. Just took myself off the screen. Hold on. We're going to go solo way out, and here we go. Light box. Emory Jones throws. It's caught. Shimon Matire. Touchdown, Bearcats. 49ers, they're 4-0. They beat the Cardinals 35-16. Christian McCaffrey could not be stopped. He had 27 touches, 177 total yards, and 4 touchdowns. Definitely a guy we're going to talk about in the fantasy segment. Brock Purdy, his teammate, had 1 touchdown pass, but he only had 1 incompletion. 20 for 21 passing, 95.2% completion percentage. He played almost flawless right there. Crazy. The Cardinals controlled most of this game until the fourth quarter. It was 21-16 at the end of the third quarter. They ran the ball really well. They had no turnovers. Josh Dobbs protected the football well, and he's able to extend some plays with his legs. Iowa State's going to roll the dice right here. It's 4th down and 1 at the center point of the field, the 50-yard line.
They're 6 for 8 this year on 4th downs.
Tight set. Rocco Becht in the gun. Cartavius Norton is still back there. Sent Noel into motion. They're checking the play out.
8 on the play clock.
1 tight end, 1 receiver, and a wing. Here's Rocco Becht. We'll give it. And, it's Cartavius Norton, and he tripped by his own man, Easton Dean. What an opening of the Red Sea, and Cartavius Norton gains quite a bit on that one, but he could have had a touchdown if it wasn't for Easton Dean getting right in his way. Gains 20 on that one.
Looked like he pat him on the back and just tripped.
Yeah, like, good job, buddy, but it was 30 yards too early. 1st and 10, tempo still going. Miami Dolphins beat the brakes off the Denver Broncos 70-20, putting up record-breaking numbers, 726 yards of offense, 10 touchdowns. They're oozing confidence down there in South Florida, and they are hard to stop. Khalil Mack, though, won them this game. 6 sacks on rookie quarterback Aiden O'Connell. He didn't play bad for the Raiders, but no run game helped. They virtually had no type of, complementary offense in that department. Penalties and turnovers, as usual, plague the Raiders because they are the Raiders. The deep ball. Rocco Beck throws. It's caught. Jaden Higgins. Higgins down the sideline, fighting with Jordan Young. Both teams are 1-3. They play at 4:05 on Fox. The Bengals are 3-point favorites. Please cover Cincinnati. Need to be more balanced on offense and get the run game going and play some old school smash mouth football, and the Bengals will get back on track. Yeah, I will confirm that. But finding that balance for Chicago. If they find that balance, people that have Justin Fields are going to find more fantasy points on their team. So that's going to be a big thing going forward. Use your legs a little more, man, against Michigan. But I'll say this, though. I mean, CJ Stroud is evolving. That's what you're supposed to be doing in your first year and everything. Trying out new things and just seeing what works, what doesn't work.
Yep.
And, it's been working so far for the Texans. They're 2-2, and they're tied for first in the AFC South.
Sure.
Their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson's been really good. They've been, really methodical when it comes to play calling. They ran the football really well, obviously, with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs whenever he gets touches. Passing the football. Amon-Ra St. Brown scored a touchdown to get things started. This Lions team is legit. I know we're only 4 weeks, into the season and everything, but this Lions team, if they keep this thing up and they can go on the road and win some football games, man, they are going to be a legit team, and you might see them toward the end of the season. It's not perfect. It will never be perfect, but doing something I love, and I'm gonna keep trying to do, some good things with that. But obviously you got Matt and Brady and them over there on the other side. I saw you laughing the whole time. I don't care, Matt. I don't care. It's cool. But
dude, I can only imagine his face from the first one.
What do you mean?
We didn't even get the one where the touchdown Cincinnati Bearcats. I mean, that's the best fucking
That's
one.
literally you didn't.
Yes, we did. It was the first.
It was the first one.
I thought you would be dying laughing.
No, it wasn't. You didn't say the guy's name in that one. That's a different one.
No,
that was the only touchdown they scored.
No, it was the right one. He said Shaman
McTire.
McTire.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I guess I fucked it up. I'll listen to it later. But
all right, cool. All right. Well, that's
Good
more
job,
bouncing
Chase.
out for the week. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good job.
Here we go. BK Broiling. Here we go.
Woo!
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So, this week I have to talk about Penn State. That's about all
I
I can
love
do.
this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Matt's really loves this. He's not going to make any jokes about it in the private chat, I'm sure. But what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about Penn State. So this week I've watched every game of Penn State, every snap. Throughout the past 5 or so days, I've watched it like a game a day. We're going to start out with the most biggest topic involving their team that's their new quarterback, Drew Allar, sophomore quarterback, number 1 ranked quarterback according to some in the 2022 class out of Medina, Ohio, 5-star. I'll say this: I am shocked at the style of play he's chosen. It's about the exact opposite of what I expected for Drew Allar. I expected a ton of sorry, Matt was in the private chat. I expected a lot of
Oh my gosh.
a lot of risks to be taken by Drew Allar. Like, I thought he would throw picks, but also make big plays. But God dang it, Matt. You completely screwed up the segment.
Go on, Matt.
I thought he would throw picks. Anyways, I thought he would throw picks, but make a lot of big pass plays, take a lot of shots down the field. But it's really been the opposite. He's been extremely conservative, very consistent, very safe with the football. Throws 0 picks this year, and 12 touchdowns. He's got a lot more aggressive when he's in the red zone. He starts to take, he starts to throw the tight window passes into the end zone once he gets into the red zone. But he also loves to throw quick game, shorter throws in the middle of the field. Running back, Nicholas Singleton, Katron Allen, one of the best duos in the nation, both sophomores. Very explosive if they get going. Nicholas Singleton was the best freshman running back in the country last year. He is certainly very explosive. Wide receiver core is pretty solid. Keandre Lambert-Smith is underrated. He's their big play wide receiver. And then their tight ends, they've got multiple tight ends. They've been there for years. I believe Brenton Strange is still there, and number 44, I forget his name, but he's always been there the past few years. And then their offensive line is very, very, very good. They're nasty. Olufashanu, most people think he's the best O-line in the nation. And then the rest of our linemen are also were high recruits in high school and have played very well. Defensively, I think it's probably the most athletic defense in the nation. Kalen King, and I think Kalen King is the best corner in the nation. I've been saying that for a while. And even though Marv did cook him pretty good last year, but he doesn't have C.J. Stroud anymore. And then Johnny Dixon is their other corner. Both are good players. And then their D-line and linebacker core just nasty. You got Demian Robinson, Chop Robinson, whatever you want to call him, first-round projected pick. And Danny Dennis Sutton, he was a 5-star in the 2022 class, both as your ends. And then linebacker core, you have Abdul Carter, who is one of the best linebackers in the country, freak athlete, and Curtis Jacobs. He's been like a 3-year starter at Penn State, very good blitzer, very athletic linebacker. This is just a really good team, and we got to be up for the test. And it's going to be a tough one. The thing with Penn State, what I've noticed on defense is they play aggressively. They like to blitz. They get pressure on the quarterback just with their defensive ends. And they are lights out on defense. And their offense is they lead the nation in time of possession. So they love to keep the ball out of the other team's hands. So what Ohio State is going to try to do against this Penn State team is get them off the field early, which is obvious. You obviously want to force 3 and outs, but like against Penn State, it's vital to do so because that's the one thing they've been so dominant at this year. And that is it for this segment.
All right, good stuff there, Brady on BK Broiling. And to the segment that absolutely nobody's been waiting for. I'm just kidding. Matt, you got your picks. Here we go.
Well, folks, had a losing week last week, 1-2, but that puts us at 12-8, 12-8-1 on the year. So if you've been following wagering with me, we're definitely winning money. So we're turning and burning in that regard. 12-8-1 this week. I got 3 games for you. I'm pretty confident about 2 actually. First one this week is going to be West Virginia -3 at home against Oklahoma State. West Virginia royally fucked me last week on the last play of the game with the Hail Mary of Houston. They were covering. I had West Virginia last week as well, -3. They obviously shit the bed at the end with the unluckiness that happened to it. So I'm sticking with West Virginia again. I like them -3 in a pretty high-scoring game here against Oklahoma State. Second one here, we're gonna ride with old Rocky Top here, +9.5 against Alabama. What a game last year was. They're on the road. Bama is just a good defensive team. The spread's 9.5. Chase, get it right, 9.5. So I just think Tennessee is going to is a little underrated here. I don't think they're a great football team this year, not even close to as good as last year, but they do have some offensive firepower. They're going to cover this 9.5 spread. And finally, for the game of the week, I really don't like doing this, but I did it a couple weeks ago. For my pick of the week, I'm going to take the Buckeyes -4.5. Lay the 4.5 points here. I think the Buckeyes are a better football team overall than Penn State. I think Ohio Stadium is one of those recently throughout the years when we play good teams, we get real fucking loud. Okay, real loud. It's one of those snoozers at times when we're playing teams we're supposed to beat. So I'm really expecting Ohio Stadium to be rocking. It's going to be great. Gene Smith is opening the gates to the stadium a half hour early for this game. Usually gates open at 10:30. They're open at 10 o'clock. I think this is the best Penn State football team since probably my younger childhood or mid-2000s. I think this is better than the team with Trace McSorley and Saquon. I think this team is really good. We got to bring it. I mean, this is it. I mean, we can't lose. I'm taking the Buckeyes minus 4.5. Lay the points.
All right, there are Matt's picks for the week. Just to give a little background on this Ohio State versus Penn State matchup over the last, really, 10 years or so, before we really dive deep into this game. This is the 11th top 10 matchup between the two. They've played 37 times before this Saturday. The 38th meeting will be going on this Saturday. The Buckeyes are on a 6-game win streak against Penn State. They've won 12 of the last 15 games. The last time Penn State beat Ohio State in Columbus was in 2011 when Ohio State, finished 6-7 that year under Luke Fickell. They lost, Ohio State lost 20-14 to Penn State, and they also lost in 2008. It was a 13-6, I believe. So Penn State has not been successful in Columbus, to say the least, and we would love it to stay that way. This is the earliest matchup on the calendar in Columbus since 2015, when Ohio State won 38-10 when they were in the blackout against Penn State. That night, I believe ABC was on the call for that.
My senior homecoming.
Did you go to your senior homecoming, Matt?
I did. For
how long? How much of that game did you see?
I was there the whole time. I had ass on me. I was rocking and rolling.
All right, a man who's telling it how it is. But
yeah.
So let's take a look at the two quarterbacks as we get our good friend Christopher Drew on the show. It's been a minute. What's going on with you, man?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah,
we got you. We got you.
Cool. My bad. I don't have a microphone with me, but I'm good, gang. My bad. I'm late. You know how it goes.
All good, man.
No, you're good. You're good. We're just getting into the good stuff right now.
Oh,
yeah,
love
man.
it.
Yeah. Just made it in time for dinner. So there you go, man. Chris, you've been grinding over there at Minnesota Sports, man. Been doing your thing over there.
I'm tired.
I can tell. I can tell, man. Shoot.
That grind's been great though.
Man, for sure. We'll get to you in a second. All right. Obviously, give you some time to, get your sports back up. You good now? All right. Bet.
Whatever you need from a guy.
All right. Well, Brady kind of broke down what Penn State was as a team. Matt gave his bet that, Ohio State would cover the 4.5. Chris, what's Penn State? What's Penn State so far? What is the Penn State identity thus far?
On offense or defense?
Anything, really.
Okay, Penn State's interesting. They currently have the Big Ten sack leader, and it's not Chop Robinson. I think their best player on defense is Abdul Carter, but he only has 1 sack on the year. They run a pretty simple defense up front. They use a lot of twists and stuff to confuse young quarterbacks. Their secondary is good, not better than Notre Dame's, but their defensive line is better than Notre Dame's. I would argue that the only player that they're not better at is probably like their defensive tackle in terms of is not better than Howard Cross. Manny likes to heat young quarterbacks up, and he likes to confuse older quarterbacks with more of his own stuff. Depending on what version of Manny Diaz we get, it could be really interesting. I don't know if you guys know, but the defensive analyst over there at Penn State is also Kyle McCord and Marvin Harrison Jr.'s former head coach.
Right.
Yeah, someone who knows them pretty well. And my guess is that they'll do a lot of stuff outside to kind of make Marvin uncomfortable. And then it's going to be kind of about, playing aggressive and heating guys up without, throwing too many guys at a quarterback. So you want to do a lot of simulated pressures. So that's how they are on defense. On offense, they are your stereotypical Mike Yurcich team. Mike Yurcich has always been kind of a dink and dunk guy, which is interesting. And he kind of uses the short throw game as an extension of the run game. And he kind of picked that up in Big 12 country. Obviously, he was at Oklahoma State and then Texas. And so at times when they do struggle to run the ball, try to loosen up the box, they'll throw a lot of the outright bubbles. So they are really tough and simple on defense, and they are a little cute and creative with some of the short throw game under Mike Yurcich, but they don't take deep shots, if I had to summarize it. Sorry for the rant, but I've been studying.
Hey, man, everything backs up. All the numbers do. Penn State's 5th in the nation in scoring offense. They're the top overall defense in yards per game, 2nd in the run defense, 1st in pass defense, 4th and 3rd down defense, and ironically, and they also are 1st in sacks. Actually, 2nd in sacks, but they're 1st in sacks per game. They played 1 less game than I believe it was Texas A&M, who leads the country.
But I believe their strength of schedule, 100 112th in the country.
So that also plays a big factor into this as well. Ohio State is, nowhere near that. Obviously up, higher than that. Interesting. Ohio State's 15th in pass offense. Penn State's 15th in rush offense. You kind of throw some of the stats out of there because of obviously the teams they've played. When these two teams play each other, man, it's a rivalry game. A lot of the stats get thrown out of the way, and the basis of of how to win these games is somewhat the same. I mean, it's great defense needs to be played, and some offense. You got to have some guys come up and make some big plays. Brady, who other than Kyle McCord, we'll talk about McCord and Allar in a couple minutes, but who on this Ohio State roster needs to have a big day other than the quarterback?
Yeah, I think this game, Tommy Eichenberg and Steele Chambers, or whoever's the other linebacker, need to play their best game of the year, because obviously they haven't played as good as we expected. We expected more from them, especially because last year they were honestly producing better on the field. It was cleaner in the run game. I feel like since Penn State likes everything, like Chris said, they're not trying to throw deep shots. Now I say that, and they'll probably go out there and attempt 4 deep balls the first drive. Who knows? But they are going to go underneath, and they're going to run the ball, and we need them to be on their toes. We need Tommy to come up, and we need to make hits at the line of scrimmage like he did last year, especially against Notre Dame the first game. Against anybody we played, Tommy Eichenberg was great in the run game last year. We just need those guys to play good. The linebackers haven't been good enough.
How much do you think that the scheme philosophy changes impacted linebacker play?
Probably a good amount, because I feel like Tommy hasn't changed in terms of his reads. He knows where the football is going. He's really good at the stuff like that. But obviously his speed isn't to the level of a Shazier or Raekwon or some of these other linebackers we've had.
Jerome Baker even.
Exactly. So I feel like he's been asked to make more open field tackles, which has really been what screwed him over a little bit. Not that it's a bad thing. It's our defense has been firing on all cylinders this year so far, other than run defense at times. But
yeah, it does feel like last year they had him coming downhill through that A gap a lot, and this year his job is more assignment friendly because they're blitzing less. Yeah, he was such a good blitzer. I mean, he has his athletic limitations. I've noticed that he struggles when they go sideline to sideline, and teams, when they identify man, are just flaring a running back as fast as they can across. And it's damn, Tommy, get out there. And you see him hustling. But
he's going his hardest. Yeah, it's not an effort thing with him. It was just against Purdue. There was 2 straight plays in the end of the first half where Hudson Card, the first one, escaped from the pocket and pretty much juked out Tommy, which was wow, man, come on, you gotta. And
then he had the bad missed tackle against Talia too when he got out there.
Yeah, he made the miss on Talia, which caused the first down. I think it was 3rd and 2 when he missed that tackle. But I know exactly what play you're talking about. I just think the linebackers are the key, and Cody Simon, I'm sure will get a lot of playing time because he's been taking Steele Chambers reps more and more these past 3 weeks. So him as well. You gotta have linebacker play this game.
Gonna be a big part of it. Now let's get to Matt. Brady talked about linebackers. Who in particular, or maybe it's a specific group, has to play well in this game on Saturday for Ohio State?
I think it's the offensive line for sure. We've got to get some sort of run game going, just to be able to keep some sort of balance. I think obviously the bread and butter of the team, I think it's going to be our MO moving forward is throwing the ball, getting the ball to our best guys on the outside. I mean, Marvin, hopefully Emeka's back, whatever. Xavier even, and then we saw some young guys flash. I mean, Cardell and Brandon Ennis last week. So, but I just feel even with Kyle, it's going to be pass protection and run blocking for the O-line. I mean, they've done pretty decent in pass protection, but against Kyle, I mean, we saw the strip sack last week. He doesn't have great pocket awareness. He doesn't move great in the pocket. We've got to protect against a great front 7 of Penn State. They're going to get after the quarterback. They've been getting after the quarterback all year. So I think we've got it's just the entire offensive line. I think it's going to be one. The game's going to be one right there. Can they protect, and can we get some sort of running game going? I guess you could also throw in the running backs as well, Chip and Trey. From what I'm hearing, I guess they're going to both be playing, but we haven't seen them yet. So
so they got Chip cleared, and it's crazy they were able to do that. Don't know how they did it, but they got Chip cleared.
Oh, that's good news. That's good news.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, regardless of what happens.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That is wild. I didn't expect Chip to play, if I'm being for real.
I thought he was going to get 2 weeks because the way he fell coming off the field, I'm like, oh, not my fucking guy from my bad, not my guy from Akron.
I don't know.
Oh, you're good, bro. You should hear the things Matt's been saying.
You should literally, yeah, dude. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah,
you know, I've been on the menace scene so much. I have.
Hey, man. Hey, it's.
You're good.
And you guys are my boys too. So like, I get interrupted. I'm not even on the show.
You feel me? Yeah. It's been a minute. You back on track, though. But
I got you.
I'm gonna stick.
I can't wait to bring up Travion Henderson because then I'm gonna hear a comment from Matt.
Oh, you're gonna hear a comment from Matt, and
you know what? Let's talk about Travion Henderson. Likely to return this game after sitting out the past 2 games. You know, he's probably the toughest guy on the team. You know, sitting out those two, right, Matt? He's the toughest.
Don't you dare say it, Matt.
I'm about to say it, but
just say
everybody knows what I think, bro. Like, it's unreal how. It's just he gets hurt. Like he's not. It's just I'm not gonna say it, bro. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna call him when I want to call him because
it's like the character from SpongeBob that gets breaks an arm or leg every time you touch him. Like
the my leg guy. You know the my leg guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it pisses me
my leg.
And I'm gonna be real with you. Like I think last week made our coaches look really bad when Dallin. I know he has problems pass blocking. Yeah. Whatever. Handing the ball off, Dallin is our best running back. I'm sorry, bro. Like when he gets the ball in his hand,
he's our most natural runner.
Dallin is the best back. He was the best back last. Like he is our best run with the ball in his hand. He's our best running back.
He's now really a mixture of all those guys.
I'm a big believer in pedigree, and like if your dad is a really good running back in the NFL. Yeah. Like for me, at least, like your feel for the game is going to be there because you grew up around the sport with the ball in your hands. And he looks like a guy whose dad was a longtime NFL running back.
Right. Yeah. Like his dad, there's got to be like some shit going on in practice where like he's just missing pass pros.
Austin Ward tried to say something like that. Ryan's saying
string running back, and he's our best one, bro.
Because Ryan said he's best with the ball in his hands, and Austin Ward took that as he must be fumbling a lot in practice. No, he wouldn't be the best with the ball in his hands if he's fumbling a lot in practice. That's like the opposite of being good. Like he's talking about
context, assuming context.
I'd have to look, but I don't think he's fumbled.
He's never fumbled a single time in his career.
Yeah, I think he's fumbled in practice or something. I don't think he's fumbled.
And no one knows what goes on in practice outside.
I think Austin Ward just doesn't know what he's talking about. Like he literally,
y'all know, man.
Like. We've
had our discussions about all this
because of Berm sometimes, because Berm actually knows what he's talking about. Okay, like Austin Ward though, like
man, I don't know what's wrong. I almost texted Austin on Sunday.
He's so ignorant and like, oh, dude, like I have problems. I have problems watching Austin Ward and taking a word he says seriously.
Man, you better be careful. You're in the Columbus area. Jerry Emick might walk by your house and throw a muscle.
Dude, if he does, honestly, like.
He might firebomb your dorm and say you smoked and dropped the blunt on the ground and lit that on fire.
Who knows, man?
You take the whole thing down, honestly. This thing
Brady wants that smoke, though. He wants to smoke right now.
Jerry Emick is the mafia in Columbus.
Dude, he's literally like Austin Ward's best friend at this point.
But here's the thing. I like Downhaven a lot. I think he absolutely should play. You got to do something. He's so bad at pass pro that I worry he will get Kyle McCord murdered this game.
Yeah.
I guess I just want to see it. I don't. Yeah, you could 100% be right, but fuck it.
Like
he's not going to get a single carry this week. I would almost bet on it. He's not going to get a single fucking touch.
We've seen it before. Yeah.
He's getting redshirted, bro. But here's the thing, bro. In that Purdue game, bro, he missed 4. He let 4 free runners run after Kyle, bro. Yeah. That terrifies me, bro. Because if that's Abdul Carter and a free runner,
I'm thinking, how about this though? Like I 100% get that. We can't let him get killed by Abdul. Kyle will fumble every time. We see what his ball security is like in the backfield. What we need to do, in my opinion, in terms of getting Dallin involved, is maybe make him like more of a first down running back. Like. On first down,
they can do what they do with XJ. Like they never ask XJ to pass pro.
No.
Dallin came on and said, when he was on the show a couple months back, he compares himself to Aaron Jones. And what's Aaron Jones? A really good pass catcher out of the backfield. You never really see Aaron Jones pass block a ton. He's either run the ball or he's running routes. You could implement like that.
We ran power and counter with XJ. Those are running back plays.
He runs like a natural running back.
That's true.
Honestly, I'm going to say this right now.
But still,
our most natural runners were on the field on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty wild.
XJ and Dallin are our two most natural runners. Now, Trey brings a different element to where I would still call him our best running back because he's that explosive and, one of the most explosive running backs in the country, if not the most.
Yeah.
I'm just
Matt's
glad
shaking
Chick's
his-
playing, bro.
Matt has a personal issue with Trey, which I think we all do a little bit. Like, we all feel a little bit of a way towards him, but he's definitely explosive.
Let's take it off from the running backs real quick, and I want to ask Chris about the quarterbacks, okay? So, Chris, you obviously got to look at, Drew Allar a lot, back there up at Medina and everything. Even coming up and everything. Brady mentioned this earlier, talking about how this is like almost the exact opposite you would think Drew Allar would be playing football, with them running the quick game as an extension of the run. And he's got a big arm. You would think they'd be taking shots down the field when needed and everything.
I thought he would take risks that I thought he would take a lot of risks and throw picks because of it, but also make big plays.
Yes, exactly. Big, like high risk, high reward though, like that. What exactly what's the thing that's impressed you the most so far about Drew Allar, Chris?
To open this up, I have a theory on quarterbacks.
Go on ahead.
And my belief is that whenever you have a long quarterback battle, the quarterback that wins never wants to make mistakes or take risks once they get in the game. I think because one of the things that coaches all will preach across the board is no mistakes, no turnovers. Ball security is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I think guys get in the mode, especially when they're in a competition. Maybe only when they're in a competition.
Might be.
To where it's about who makes the least amount of mistakes. So you kind of like coach the quote unquote gunslinger out of guys when that happens. Honestly, I think it happened with Kyle McCord, if we're being real. And if I look at the quarterbacks of past at Ohio State, the guys that have not been in quarterback battles have always been more willing and like free with the ball. Like Justin Fields wasn't in a battle. There was nobody on his heels. Guess what he did? He was out there going crazy.
Yeah.
And even Cardell in 2015 to open up the year, after he was in a long quarterback battle, we didn't get the same Cardell in 2014 that was going to let that thing rip. So I think
he was letting it rip to the 5-yard hitch routes, but throwing it out of bounds because of how hard he threw that thing.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's my theory on quarterbacks. And because of that, and because Drew was it's funny because Drew was in a long quarterback battle, which is really weird considering kind of the hype around him.
Yeah.
I think that they coached a lot of the gunslinger out of him, making him less dangerous than I think he would have been because he's got the capability and the mindset to go take those shots. But I think because he's a young quarterback, kind of early in growth, it's like a lot of limitations. But with that being said, this will be the game because there is that chip on his shoulder because he grew up an Ohio State fan, because he wanted to go to Ohio State until he felt slighted by them. He's going to have a lot of family and friends there. I think this will be the game that we could see Drew kind of revert back to the guy that's a gunslinger and wants to throw up the 50-50 balls. And if that is the case, my guess is it'll be on the Davis and Igbinosun side. That way they can try to draw a couple PIs to move the ball on the field.
I could see Davis and having at least 2 pass interferences this game for sure.
Yeah, this feels like a Davis and PI game. No, we're not. No, we're not mad when that happens.
It just depends on it depends how.
No, we're not mad when that happens because if you commit PI, guess what that means? You're close enough to commit PI.
No, that's true. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying I just hate when it happens. I just hate giving up the 15.
It's better than Jalen Johnson getting cooked against.
Yeah. It's better than watching Cam Martinez spin around like when I put my dryer on.
Oh man, you'll hear a couple things about Cam Martinez.
Yeah,
honestly, Brady and Matt and you, everybody.
I wish Cam was a good enough corner to where he could pass interference. I wish Jalen Johnson was.
You'll take aggressiveness. You'll take the aggressiveness over getting.
Cam Martinez just turns away from the football and just runs in circles, hoping he's running with the receiver.
Cam Martinez can turn away from Ohio State and return back to Michigan.
Yeah. Oh my God. I wish he won't become a Wolverine. I really wish he was on Michigan.
I don't like shitting on kids. Cam Martinez
and Bryson Shaw deserve it. Like if there's 2 DBs in Ohio State history to deserve it, it's those 2.
Hey, a guy we haven't talked about much on this show so far. Actually, I don't think we've mentioned him really at all. Marv. What's I mean, obviously this is gonna Marv's got to have a big game this weekend. You would think who's the matchup that he's gonna have? Who's the number one corner for Penn State, and why should Marv win this matchup?
You would think it'd be Kalen King, right?
It's Kalen King. I mean, Johnny Dixon's good too. I mean, they got good corners.
Yeah,
but
last year,
Marv had a great game against. I mean,
he was cooking Kalen King all game. It was
saying like he abused Kalen King. So I'm wondering if they'll try to put Johnny Dixon on him.
Honestly, I hope they do because I think a lot of the time Marv abusing Kalen King, he definitely abused him, but it's also C.J. Stroud great ball placement the entire game. So honestly, if they put Johnny Dixon on him, I'd be happy because I don't think Kyle's making those throws CJ was making all game last year. Marv had 185, I believe, against Penn State. So he was great. He had 10 catches, 185. He was cooking Penn State the entire game. So they're definitely going to have a plan to limit Marv more than they did last year because Emeka last year being healthy, obviously, and with CJ Stroud being able to Emeka was a lot better with CJ Stroud because Emeka is not this guy that's super fast, going to get a lot of separation, but he catches any ball that's he can catch the ball, all right? He's got great hands. And CJ was just the ball placement was unbelievable against Penn State on that last throw to Emeka, the seam route to kind of ice the game. I just don't know if we have that with Kyle. So I really do hope they put Johnny Dixon on Marv this year. I really do.
I'm curious if Emeka will play. Because if not, obviously it makes it easier to bracket Marv.
Yeah.
It does feel like this, we're past due for the classic, okay, you're an old school DC, you like to man up, you like to blitz. It feels like we're due for a mesh concept game.
Oh, you gotta love mesh. You gotta love mesh.
2018 Michigan, where we're just running crossing routes all game.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It feels like we're past due to that, and it feels like a Manny Diaz defense is susceptible. And if they do want to back off and play that weird zone they played last year, you're giving away so much free access. So I think they'll try to press man and throw off timing routes. And I think if that's the case, Marv could go off.
Yeah, Kyle's gonna have to grow a pair and stand into pressure and throw a dime down the sideline to Marv because Marv will have those one-on-one balls.
It doesn't have to be a dot. Just throw that bitch up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
That's what a dot is to Marv.
Marv will make it look like a dot. You feel me?
It's either a PI or
that's gonna be the big
PI or a catch.
Sometimes I wish we had a worse quarterback that was just didn't care about throwing picks. It was just fuck it, he's down there somewhere. Because I feel that always happens.
Man. Some of the good quarterbacks be doing this
Ohio
shit.
State. I feel like quarterbacks always just throw shit up and people get lost.
They do. That's what Penn State was doing with Trace McSorley the entire time. The one, Jawan Johnson, Chris Godwin, then that stupid play where Denzel Ward and the Penn State receiver both kind of caught it, but Penn State receiver got possession.
Yeah.
All those plays are just terrible throws.
It's like in our corner, we're used to that because no one's throwing that up in practice.
No, not at all.
It's it's covered next read.
Yeah, we actually, believe it or not, no matter what anybody says that think they know stuff, like all these NFL experts, we actually do go through reads here at Ohio State. That's why CJ Stroud's having so much success. But
how much red zone Devin Brown do we get?
It's a good question.
I don't
know. It might not even happen, honestly, based off of I saw your show. You guys predicted it, obviously. Zach said even just to show it to Penn State, put it on film. What do you think? I don't know what to think of it.
I don't know.
I think we see it
at least once.
I think it's
funny.
I think
you see it at least once.
We've never been worse in the red zone under Ryan Day until before this.
And
week.
it looked. I mean, dude, it looked fucking good. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know how you could say. I got really pissed when he fumbled. But I mean, bro, he's on the fucking. He's crossing the plane and just he's making a play. No, and
it's not like he wasn't loose with the ball. It just it was a really good hit at that time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was unfortunate.
Yeah, he said next time he'll go up and over instead of trying to dive through.
It's crazy because Devin was running not the way I expected. He was looking for contract, trying to run people over. He was looking for it, which I liked. I like seeing he's not afraid to get hit.
That's a kid going through a pivot in his life right now. I mean,
yeah, he's not. You can tell he's got that fire to.
It's a dude trying to contribute to a football. Like, bro, like he was thinking, like he's going to win the job, whatever. Now he's trying to find his fucking niche on a team, bro. Like,
yeah, which is so unique and rare in this era. I mean, the kid was the on-field #1 player in the country.
Yeah.
Like as a senior in high school, he led the nation in passing. Yeah. He wasn't a dual threat guy in high school. He was always considered a pro style guy.
Yeah.
And like they were having red zone issues, and he stepped up to the plate when he could have easily went in the tank and kind of hit the portal when the season ended instead of risking injury. Like that's a kid that deserves all the flowers in the world. And he looks. I was really impressed by his vision down there.
Yeah, he was finding holes. He was hitting them hard.
He's been patient and then gets it up there. Yeah, I mean,
the thing was
I saw a picture of his one touchdown, like a little bit before he scored. There was no hole there. He had to scrape off the butt of a lineman and then shoot forward. And I was like, geez.
Yeah, well, the only lane was to the outside, but he wasn't beating the linebacker because Devin is decent speed, but obviously he's not Lamar Jackson out there. So he had to make a play out of nothing. He just decided to put his shoulder down and he just plowed into the end zone.
Yeah, he's a unique athlete, and I won't hear anybody that's talking about Kyle McCord can do the same things in the red zone. It's kind of been the narrative.
Dude, Kyle McCord ran to the left side right into his line of butt when there was Matt, you remember your reaction when that happened? So we're sitting in my house. Matt's like, hey, it's all right. Let's cheer for Kyle in the Indiana game when he was playing bad. He's like, I know he's our quarterback. We got to cheer for our quarterback.
Oh,
then he runs that QB draw, and he runs, how he ran it, the worst run I've ever seen. And Matt just lost his mind.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm done with Kyle. Get him out. He was like,
bitch his ass, motherfucker, bitch. I take it back. But fuck me, dude. You have motherfucker can't read it. Nothing, bro.
They said he couldn't read a second grade book.
My boys should go to Kent State, man. They got the can't read, can't
write. Shout out Steve Harvey.
There you go. Man, who's the X factor in this game? We'll get the picks in a second. Who's the X factor? Like
XJ. That's the guy.
He's always the X factor.
That's the X factor.
Play on words there. Cool. But yeah. You guys ready to pick it?
Pick a winner?
Yeah. I got the Buckeyes 24-13. I think it's going to be low scoring, especially early. I think Drew Allers. I think Penn State's going to end up. We're going to try to eliminate as many underneath throws, digging and ducking as possible. They're going to have to try to take some shots downfield. I think Penn State's inability to do that, the game will end up. The game's going to end up getting away from them a little bit at the end. Towards the end of the second half, they're not going to be able to hit on as many big time throws down the field. They're not going to be able to get the explosive play that they need to stay in the game. So that's kind of what I think. I think our offensive line blocks well enough. You're kind of going to see little shake. It's going to. I feel you're going to get a better offensive production against Notre Dame through the air, comparison wise, and I think you're going to get about the same through the running game, where it's kind of shitty at times, but somebody will break a decent one. You know what I mean? Just a little give and take. It's not going to be some kind of dominant performance at all on offense. But I think we'll have a little bit more success through the air in this game, just because of the style of defense. And I'm going to be real. Marv cooked these guys last year, so I feel pretty good about. I really do. I feel really good about Marv's matchup this week. So 24-13 Buckeyes.
Cool, Brady.
Yeah, I agree. It's not going to be super high scoring at all. Actually, more low scoring than even he predicted, in my opinion. I just think that these defenses are really good. And the offenses, I don't know if they have enough explosion to overcome these defenses. So I'm going to go 14-10 Ohio State in a great one.
Holy shit. We're not even covering the spread?
We're not going to cover the spread. And it's going to be 10-7 Penn State in the fourth quarter at some point. There's going to be a –
Oh.
What? Yeah, 3.5. But Cade Stover is going to catch a touchdown with 3 minutes left to take the lead. Maybe
that actually might be that's probably one of the X factors in this game. He's the highest graded tight end in Pro Football Focus for college. So I mean, there you go. Chris, obviously I know you guys are doing stuff on the show, but who do you think's on?
Man, bro, chill out, man.
Man, okay.
I
feel me?
I got 2024 Ohio State.
Cool.
Part of me wants to pick Penn State, but I won't do it today. Not here.
I got you.
Yeah, don't pick Penn State.
Don't ever.
Bad karma.
It's funny because you know what happens if Penn State wins?
Wow.
What?
We got to root for Michigan.
I know. Dude,
That's true.
I'm just looking at Matt's face, bro. I'm sorry.
Bruh, we
Like,
can't.
finna snatch me up today.
We can't lose. I don't give a fuck, bro. We're not losing. We can't. It's not. It's. I'm not even letting it get into my fucking head, bro. It's not a possible outcome.
We're good. We're winning 24-20.
Yep. All right. I'm going to go on ahead and say 27-20. The 27-21, my fault. 27-21. Be a pretty close game. I think it'll be somewhat back and forth, honestly, but I think it'll be, low scoring in the first half. The offense is kind of figured out in the second half a little bit, but I think Ohio State obviously comes up on top. We're going to, quick hits on a couple of these other games. There's, some pretty good games going on after the Ohio State game. Tennessee, Bama, 3:30. Last year, me, Brady, and Matt watched this game together, and it was,
game of the year.
One of the greatest.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
One of the greatest.
That was the most down to the wire game of all last season. There was no game on December 31st that would even come close.
It was pretty wild to say.
Only game that came down to a field goal I've watched last year that was a high ranked matchup game. That was a good game.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Come on.
Yeah. Jalen Hyatt experience, yeah.
Yeah, man.
We were really introduced to Jalen Hyatt that day in terms of like national landscape college football.
We were, and he made a lot of big plays for Tennessee last year. He made a big play for the Giants on Sunday Night Football, but dumbass offensive lineman got an ineligible receiver, an eligible player downfield call, and we didn't see any, deep Jalen Hyatt plays in the National Football League just yet.
Yeah, honestly, the fact they drafted Jalen Hyatt is a shame anyway.
It is. Yep. Shame. Could have been used somewhere else.
And then they let him wear number 13 like he was special.
Well, there you go. Yeah. That's the Giants for you. That's the Giants.
They have a lot of speed at receiver.
I'm going to take
Cedric Tillman over here.
Who you taking?
I'm going to take Alabama in this one, 27-20.
Okay.
Brady. Tennessee covers clearly.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Bama as well. Obviously, get back game. They're going to get their revenge on Tennessee. Let's go with 48-24. Easy win for Bama. Tennessee is not good.
And I got 41-14 Bama.
Tennessee's trash.
Right, we're on that track there. All right,
cool. We watched Graham Mertz blow out Tennessee. His team is trash.
Yeah, Graham Mertz doing that's pretty bad. I'll say 31-14 Bama in this one. I think they'll get the revenge.
It's going to get ugly.
Yep, probably pretty early. Get ugly.
Just at Bama.
Yeah, at Bama.
Yeah. Saturday in October. Don't treat Rocky Top like this. They're gonna make it. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be close.
Rocky Top sucks.
Well, that's one of Matt's picks, and we'll see exactly how that ends up going. So hopefully, you can come back and be like, "Oh, well, we had a bad week this week for the third week in a row."
Are you a Tennessee fan?
Fuck no, I ain't no Tennessee.
No, he's talking about his picks. He does like the betting.
No.
Stuff.
I got weekly picks.
Matt loves the fight song though. I like it a lot too.
I do too. It's really catchy. The fight song is catchy. I'll say that.
Second best fight song in all of football.
There you go.
The first fight song is the one that Matt cries to when he goes to games, and I have nothing wrong with that whatsoever. All right, Duke, Florida State, 7:30 on ABC. All right. That's cool. Yeah, Matt, Duke, Florida State. Who you got?
I'm going to take the Noles. I think they're going to win by 17. I think I like it 17.1.
Cool.
Fuck it. 31-14.
All right, Brady. Is Riley Leonard playing, by the way? Is he playing?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I would doubt. I think he's questionable or whatever, but I'm going to say no Riley Leonard in this game, my prediction. I'm going to go with Florida State as well. We're going with 35-20.
Cool. Chris, what about you?
I heard Riley Leonard is out, so I got Florida State blowing them out in the worst kind of way. I think this will try to be like Keon Coleman's Blitnikoff moment. It'll try to be because like Rome had his Blitnikoff moment last week. Marv's going to try to have his this week. I think this is going to try to be a Keon Coleman Blitnikoff moment this week, and he's going to have to rack up some big yards. I think they win probably 37-10.
Yeah, so that's
Florida State doesn't have a defense. I'll go 37-28.
Yeah, you got to remember Clemson looked good on offense against Florida State or DC.
Yeah, and they stink.
That's true.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go with Florida State 44-20. Go with that. And then the last game we'll pick on here, Utah USC, a team that has USC's number, and USC got absolutely destroyed last week, a couple of days ago against Notre Dame. USC's at home. If they lose this game, they're really done. But Matt, what do you think of this one?
I think I'm just going to take USC. I don't think Utah's got enough offense to fucking score with them. So I'm going to take them.
Cool.
30-something to 20-something probably.
Yeah, that's a great score. All right. I'm just kidding. Brady, what about you?
Yeah, so I feel like it'd be really funny if we look back on Caleb Williams' college career, and it consists of 3 Utah losses in 2 years and a loss to Tulane. All happening while he is the most hyped up. I'm not taking anything away from Caleb Williams. He's obviously a really good player, but he also is not the most likable player, in my opinion. So
wow.
Just say it, bro. He thinks that painting your nails is.
Yeah, he thinks exactly. Like I think Utah's going to win again.
I think it's a little what?
Wow.
Hey, I mean, speaking as a light skin, that is some of the most. That's actually beyond light skin shit right there. But
it's a little bit.
I'm not going. Yeah,
a little what?
It's a little gay. I won't lie.
That is it is.
What is
a little feminine.
This?
Yeah, that shit. That shit.
What's up, boy?
Nah, you want?
It's a little Matt. Caleb Williams reminds me of Matt. Not the way he plays football.
He putting shots out there.
I'm not gonna lie. There couldn't be a more opposite person on this earth than Matt and Caleb Williams.
Oh my gosh!
Especially playing quarterback, they're the exact opposite.
That is so funny.
One's gonna be a first round pick.
Yeah,
I got Utah winning too.
I'm kidding. Matt was a great center. I'm going with Utah. The one thing I need to say about this game.
Yep.
I don't know if I actually think Utah is going to win. I just think it'd be so funny. I got to pick them.
Is Cam Rising ever going to come back?
I don't know.
I bet he's out for the season.
Because they can play him in 4 games and keep his red shirt, and he can come back next year.
He could come back next. Did he already use a? No. You can get multiple red shirts injury wise, right?
Well, yeah, you get a medical red shirt.
You get multiple medical red shirts if you.
Well, he's got his COVID year too.
He's got a COVID year. So
the Oregon dude has 9 years. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the Oregon dude was a Tressel recruit.
Oh my! What class was he? High school class? 16.
Class of '94.
Jesus Christ!
My boy tight with D Miller, but
he got injured right in front of me. Like, he got injured at the Ohio State game, and I was sitting front row of that Oregon game. Sadly,
flex, damn it.
I mean, it was one of the most boring games I've ever been to. Like, one of the most forgettable games I've ever been to. Honestly,
CJ broke the Ohio State passing record in that game.
I know. He broke it again. He rebroke it against Utah. But
yep. All right,
that game really was not fun. Not fun.
I'm gonna go with USC. We'll go split. You got Utah. I got USC in this. I think it'll be a pretty close game, entertaining. But yeah. That's it for our show today. Chris, thanks for coming back on and everything, man. It was good to have the Fantastic Four back on here.
No, thanks for having me, guys. Sorry on my microphone. I'll be more professional next time.
Dude,
it's fine.
Who cares? Who absolutely cares? But
we're chilling.
Yes, sir. But yeah, we will see you guys next week when we do our little recap and everything, hopefully after an Ohio State Buckeyes victory. So see you guys.
Fuck Penn State.